Hi, welcome to the IPL pre-show. RCB is taking on SRH tonight. I have Debashi Sen, Raja Raman, and Bharat joining us the show, who'll join in a bit. Raja and Devashish, it's a big game. RCB, on one hand, is struggling to find momentum. SRH is looking good. They got two wins. They'll be looking for a hat trick of wins here. Raja, I'll get started off with you first. It's just a common problem with RCB. Somehow, they just can't seem to find that momentum or rhythm moving into a tournament. So, what has gone wrong this time around? Has it been the same problem?
Ishan, as a Hyderabadi, as somebody who was born and brought up there, I'm not complaining, right? Not in this game. Much as I want RCB to be doing well, much as I want Virat Kohli's efforts to be rewarded with victories, मेरे अंदर Hyderabadi है यार. But on a more serious note, Ishan, RCB need to do better than it is doing at this point of time. But where is it going to find the bowlers to try and stop the opposition from winning matches? They've got the batters. Fab du Plessis got into some kind of form in the last game. He got a half century. Virat has been batting well. But they really need the bowlers to step up, and they don't seem to have any bowlers who can make dents in the opposition. Tonight also looks a little difficult, looks a little tricky for RCB. But
Yes.
as cricket fans, not as a Hyderabadi, as cricket fans, I truly hope that miracles happen and RCB finds the mojo tonight.
Absolutely, Raja. Devashish, there's been an over reliance on Virat Kohli, which is unfair. A lot of critics have pointed a finger on Kohli as well for not playing for the team, which is unfair at the same time. But, having an over reliance on the player is not the best and ideal situation for any franchise. So, what does RCB do in such a case scenario?
Yeah, obviously, yeah, when you talk about RCB, they have gone got all wrong. Means right from the first match, obviously, and the results speaks for itself. They have lost 5 out of 6 matches, and they have tried as many as 19 players, most by second most by any franchise in this season. Delhi Capitals have tried 20 players, and Royal Challengers Bengaluru have tried as many as 19 players. So it goes to show that they don't have a settled unit. They haven't yet figured out what will be their best competition, what will be their best go-to bowlers, and they don't have the bowling. They have been horrible. They have this worst economy rate in the IPL, obviously, and thanks to Mohammad Siraj, who has looked awfully out of form. Obviously, reached top play, has not got going. Only Vaishak has done reasonably well. But else, I think the less you talk about RCB, obviously, with due respect, means it's their batters who have performed in this IPL, means starting from Virat Kohli in the last game. Fab du Plessis was brilliant. So as well, the other batters, and that has been the only big concern. It is their bowling. They haven't fired yet, and things are moving very fast for RCB. If they don't start winning, means obviously then once again it will be impossible to qualify for the playoffs.
Ishan,
Absolutely.
as
And
we are talking, I think RCB has decided to leave Siraj out of this game.
okay,
So
that's
that good for
interesting.
RCB, good for Siraj. He needed that break away from the game,
Yes.
from matches a little bit, so he can possibly come back recharge. Also, the fact that Maxwell is sitting out, I think it's wonderful for RCB. Unfortunate that Maxwell has not been scoring runs, played a lot of single digit scores. He's had one good innings, so to say. But I think RCB is doing those things right, of being bold enough to be able to drop two very big names, Maxwell and Siraj, for this game.
Yeah, that's a bold move, Raja. And I wanted to ask you about Maxwell actually. So I was at the Wankhede as well, the other day when Mumbai Indians was taking on RCB, and everybody expected Maxwell to perform, like in similar fashion he did at Wankhede the previous time he played. So it's unfortunate that the bigger stars for RCB aren't stepping up as well, like a Maxwell, whose role is to actually, helping that middle innings and pushing ahead and taking that innings further. So are you disappointed with Maxwell's performance, or is it just part of the game?
No, I think it's pretty disappointing to have a string of single digit scores. And I would, maybe I'm being harsh here, but the fact is a lack of intent. Now, if you're trying hard enough, if you're trying enough and then failing, it's okay. But I think RCB will be pretty disappointed. Not just me, RCB will be pretty disappointed with the Maxwell batting show. He's someone who's capable of doing much better. He's
Yeah.
someone who can carry the team on its shoulders, on his own shoulder. He can swing matches the way single-handedly. Unfortunately, he hasn't done that this season so far, and things have gone to such a pass that RCB is now desperate. If there were a relegation in this IPL, RCB will be one of the first teams that is looking, staring hard and cold at relegation. Uh, Lucky that they don't have a second division to be relegated, but RCB is bowling
Yeah.
with Siraj being a letdown. With them, I think their auction strategy is letting them down big time. The team management has hard answers to give to the fans and to the stakeholders. But Maxwell disappointing is perhaps one of the biggest stories of the season. Our focus has been so much on Indian lads doing well that we are overlooking the celebrated Australian cricketers, which has Stark struggled for a long time, but he
Yeah.
seems to have found his line and length, and he's got among the wicket. Hopefully, Maxwell, 1 or 2 games uh, away from the dugout as well, will help him come back fresh, and hopefully will score for RCB in that second half of the tournament.
Hopefully, Raja. Devashish, the bowling, like you mentioned, has been an issue. And Faf Duplessis himself actually mentioned in a post match conference that, they just don't have that depth in the bowling. So, like Raja mentioned, is it just a poor auction, decisions or just poor decisions at the auction, which has eventually made this side suffer?
I would say yes, it is one of the reasons for sure. But then definitely the form of Mohammad Siraj has been a big
Yeah.
letdown. Means obviously he's your premier bowler. Means obviously a lot depended on Siraj form, but unfortunately he hasn't looked the bowler he has been for India. In fact, he has performed over the years for RCB last couple of seasons. But when you look at this season, they have certainly not got it right as far as their bowling is concerned. Akashdeep, another guy who has been very impressive in the previous season for RCB, but he has also not performed. Rich Topley once again, means obviously he has also not fired. But then the biggest disappointment for RCB has been they do not have that spin bowling options. Means if you look at the other teams, they have quite a few options when it comes to spin bowlers. But then when it comes to RCB, it has been a big letdown. And I totally agree with you that they have really gone wrong as far as the auction is concerned.
Yes, I think Shubayan just joined. Shubayan, we were talking about RCB's bowling lineup and they haven't lived up to expectations. So, what are your thoughts on this?
See, one positive change that they have brought in express pacer Lockie Ferguson. So that will, I think, make some sort of difference given the kind of pace he generates. Mohammad Siraj has been simply poor and rightfully he has been dropped in this match for Yash Dayal. So looking forward to see how it pans out for RCB. But overall, it has been a known thing that their bowling lineup is the weakest out of everything that they have composed in that squad. So it is not a surprise that they are not doing well. They have picked up the least number of wickets in the power play, only four. So far, they have conceded the most number of runs in the power play with an economy of around 12.
Yeah.
So that speaks a lot about what kind of bowling attack they have.
Yes, absolutely. And before we continue this conversation, Bharat was at the Chinnaswamy and he's got us some visuals to watch. So, have a look and enjoy.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಿಕ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೇ ಸಾಮಾನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಬೇಕು.
Yep. So as you can see that the fan base of this RCB team is still well and truly alive, which is commendable, Raja. I feel because you're still backing your team to go on and do well, and I think that fan base is one of the biggest positives this RCB team has. But I think it's up to them to go out and deliver. Talking about SRH, this is the team that's gaining momentum. 2 wins now. They'll be looking for a hat trick of wins, and I think they'll be backing themselves. With the likes of Hendrik Larsson, smaller boundaries. So, do you think SRH might have the upper hand here with that batting lineup?
Yes, undoubtedly. They get a score of 230, 240 then they can surely consider that the game, then it'll become a game of theirs to lose. But I think they have got a fantastic captain. They paid a lot of money to get Patrick Cummins into the squad. A lot of people were saying that why pay so much money for somebody who's going to bowl only 4 overs. It's not about his 4 overs. It's about how he motivates the side. It's about how he manages the bowling options at his disposal, and it's about how he's allowing his batters to go and play
Yes.
freely. I think this is an SRH side which is different to many sides in the past. They've had some fantastic side as Deccan Chargers. They did win the tournament back in 2009 in South Africa. SRH itself has had a decent record, but under Patrick Cummins, this side looks very different. And I think that's a great quality in a T20 game for a captain to be making
Yeah.
such a big difference to the squad. I think they're very fortunate that they've got Cummins with them.
No, I couldn't agree more, Shubha. And I think it's a very valid point there because, I think in my opinion, Pat Cummins has got the same calming effect like how someone like MS Dhoni might have. So, he's always smiling, light-hearted, and I think that rubs off on the team. So, your word on Pat Cummins?
I agree with whatever adjectives you used for Pat Cummins, but at the same time, he is ruthless as well. We have
Yeah.
to take that. It's a very important point. Ruthless. He doesn't shy away from making bowling changes at a critical junctures where you would think, okay, will this bowler work? But that is how these Aussies think. They want to do something different out of the box and surprise the opponents. They have been doing in the international circuit for decades now, and for someone to come in. And even when David Warner was leading Sunrisers Hyderabad in the past, he used to do the same. He used to bring that surprise element into his captaincy, and that's why he was so successful there. And I think Pat Cummins has kept it mostly simple, but has introduced a bit of a surprise factors with his bowling. He has not used Umran Malik a lot, which many were expecting that he will use Umran Malik. He has gone back to Bhuvneshwar Kumar. He has used Natarajan very cleverly, and the bowling, the spin department is not packed with too many spinners in that. They have missed out on Vanindu Hasaranga, but he keeps on using Aiden Markram also very cleverly. So they have a very good squad. They have a very good squad, and it runs deep, and that's why I think Pat Cummins is enjoying the kind of balance they have put up in the auction dynamics, and he is now reaping rewards of just putting something tactically or on the field, bringing that surprise elements and enjoying his game after winning the World Cup.
So
उसको
true,
सिर्फ
Shubha.
तड़का डालना होता है. The ingredients are all there. He just has to do the tadka as captain.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Devashish, another key player for SRH last game was Young Reddy. He's very handy with the bat. He, in fact, hasn't had the most impressive domestic T20 season, but in that particular game, he really performed well. So, your thoughts on Reddy? He's a handy bowler as well.
Yeah, absolutely. He has done well. This is what an IPL does. Means if you get an opportunity, you make use of that opportunity. If you have to make big as far as your career is concerned, obviously it's not just about domestic cricket. You also the spotlight automatically is on you when you do well. You might have scored two brilliantly in domestic cricket in a Ranji Trophy game, but it's one innings in IPL can automatically give you all the spotlight that is needed. Means obviously, and Nitish Reddy has done nothing wrong, but um, just a cue on the discussion with Aussie cricketers. RCB has really missed their two Aussies in their lineup. Both Glenn Maxwell and Cameron Green has been a big letdown for them. Means none of them, and we can say, and it was not expected that both of them would not find a place in the playing 11. Yes, Glenn
Yeah.
Maxwell did have an injury concern. That's the reason he has been dropped, I mean, or rather he had to be rested. But then Cameron Green means the amount that that RCB had to spend to get him in that side means he has been a big letdown. So in fact, both the Australian players in that RCB lineup has disappointed.
No, you're right,
Ishan.
Devashi. I think you need your impact players to really deliver for you on the given day. Raja, RCB's won the toss and chosen to bowl. Right decision, wrong decision, according to you?
No, it's the only decision in their hand because they've got to back the batters to win matches, and we all know what Virat can do when they're chasing. So they're probably backing themselves to try and do a good job with the ball and then chase down not such a big score. It's fantasy it's sometimes in the realms of fantasy. They don't have the bowlers. One or two cosmetic changes to have a quick express bowler come in and try and do some damage is fantastic. But do they have people to who can manage the 20 overs? It doesn't look like. So under the circumstances, Ishan, it's a good decision primarily because they have to back themselves to chase the score down.
Yeah, you're right. Shubayan, one
I,
important
I,
battle and
I,
one. Yeah.
I would just like to add more so because last time when they scored 199, it got chased by Mumbai Indians and that went 15.3 overs. So
Yes.
that might be another reason that they have chosen to chase rather than posting a total because with the bowling lineup they have, means obviously any team would fancy their chances of chasing against RCB. And so and their strength lies in their batting. And if you look at Virat Kohli has been the man in form, and Dinesh Karthik has done wonderfully well, and Faf du Plessis has been amongst runs in the last match. You have Rajat Patidar who has performed in the last game. So they have that firepower in that batting. It's their strength actually, and not their bowling. So I think that has been the reason to just influence them to chase this in this match.
Yes, you're right, Debashi. Shubayan, would you agree with that? Because, I think they're playing with the strengths here. And it's almost like they don't believe that they can defend a total. So it's not a great thing to have with you, like that mental block. But is it, I mean, you can't do much with that because, the bowling lineups have not lived up to expectations. But would you believe with what Debashish is saying here?
I agree with him because that the batting unit gives them the best chance to win a match, and it was clearly stated by Faf du Plessis in the last game or in the game before that they don't have weapons in their bowling lineup. He said it very clearly, and it is not a rocket science that their bowling attack is weak. So why not give the batters a chance to chase whatever score Sunrisers Hyderabad put, and the clarity on which Pat Cummins said that 240 is a par score here. I think they are going to go all out against RCB bowlers in the first innings.
Yes, and before we move to the predictions, Raja, I have to ask you, Bhuvneshwar Kumar versus Virat Kohli. This is one battle that has, erupted, and a lot of viewers, a lot of fans believe that this is probably one of the most heaty battles that could possibly take place in this match. So, who do you think is getting the better of who, first of all, and why?
Oh, I don't have a crystal ball, okay? But you're putting my neck on the line, and I'm happy to do that. I think Virat will win this one. Virat has been batting quite well. In my opinion, he's been batting quite well. A lot of people are citing his strike rate, 140, and they're not happy with it. I'm perfectly okay with that. But I think Virat will win this one from Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. He knows Bhuvi's wiles. Of course, Bhuvi also knows what Virat is capable of and will bowl accordingly. It'll be a fascinating contest. I think the crowd will love watching that contest. But I have a feeling, a sneaky feeling that Virat will win that one.
Yes, and the contest is going to start in 10 minutes. So, Shubayan, we need to hear your predictions right away, and then I can carry on to Debashish and Raja.
I think if Sunrisers Hyderabad post 240 as Pat Cummins said, then I don't think RCB will able to chase it down. But anything around 200, 220, 210, I think they have a RCB have a fair chance. I'll still go with Sunrisers Hyderabad here.
Sunrisers. All right. Debashish?
I am with Subhayan here. Means obviously, our Sunrisers Hyderabad, if they can post, obviously they have already scored the highest total in IPL history, 277. And if they don't require a 277 against RCB, 200, 220 will be enough. With the firepower they have, the likes of Pat Cummins, Natarajan, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, and Shahbaz Ahmed, they do have a lot of variety in that bowling lineup. So anything around 200, they should feel confident about.
Raja, I'm expecting you to say RCB now because we got two SRH supporters, and our local homeboy Bharat might feel a little offended with so many SRH supporters at the
ईशान
moment.
मेरे को लगता है कोई बोला ही नहीं तुमको कि मैं हैदराबाद का हूँ तो मैं दूसरी टीम को कैसे सपोर्ट करूंगा भाई
फिर भी
right? Much as I want Virat Kohli to do well, I
Yeah.
think it's going to be Hyderabad. They played some good cricket, Ishan. Let's admit it that Hyderabad played the better cricket than RCB at this point of time. If they continue doing that, there is no reason how RCB can stop that. They need a miracle tonight, RCB, to to find ways of overcoming the weight of all the losses.
Yeah.
They've lost so many games that it's going to be difficult to shed the loser's mindset and then find that winning mindset. Not going to be easy for them. And I don't think Hyderabad the kind of side that is going to allow them to find that mindset tonight.
Yes, that's true, Raja. Let's wish both the teams the best of luck. Thank you to my guests, and thank you to everyone who's tuned in as well. We'll catch you right after the match. Thank you.